Hey guys, Colorado Camperman Brian here. A lot of you guys have been asking for an update on my Moonlander. You're wondering what I've done to it, how I'm still liking it. And so I figured I'd give you guys an update video on the Moonlander. I've had this thing for about a year. If you guys don't know what the Moonlander is, I did an entire more in-depth video on it. But essentially it's a topper camper for your truck. And it is awesome. I've had this thing, like I said, for about a year now, and I am still in love with it. A couple of the key things that I really love about it is the fact that your bed goes across the width of your truck, so you have storage space underneath for your gear, which is great. And that's because the Moonlander is wider than the width of your truck, and it's also taller as well too, so you have more headroom, and it's just overall awesome. I've camped out of it a handful of times, and I just use it as a giant topper all the time too, and I absolutely love the amount of space that's in it. So I'll show you guys some of the latest stuff that I've done, because I've done quite a few things in the last few weeks here. So let's get to it. So the first upgrade that I did here recently is I installed this bed rug. I'm not sponsored by Bed Rug. I just bought this personally, and I absolutely love this thing. Basically what it is, it's this kind of carpet material that's made for the inside of your truck, and then it's got real dense foam on the bottom. Prior to installing this, I did have a large carpet in the middle here, which was nice. It made the topper, especially when I was camping, feel a little bit more homey. But I wanted something that would cover everywhere, and with this you can actually power wash it. You can take it out of your truck, you can hose it off, and it's supposed to be really heavy duty. I absolutely love this thing. I just had knee surgery about 3 months ago, and because this does have a real dense foam on the back, I can actually kneel on this, and it's really hard for me to kneel still since my surgery. But I absolutely love the bed rug so far, and that's the first main addition. Another addition here is my actually hunting blind chair. It's swivel, which is so amazing. You gotta have the swivel. I used to have another smaller blind chair in here. My wife got me this for Christmas this last year, and I gotta tell you, this thing is absolutely great. The swivel is so key, because in the Moonlander, since you can't stand up, you do a lot of sitting, and you need to be able to kind of move around and access stuff. You know, I store stuff in there for the kitchen. I have my little fridge here, my cooking area over here, you know, getting stuff up on the bed. All I do is I put this in the middle and sit, and then just swivel around, and I can access everything. And it's also makes it a lot more comfortable. The previous chair I had in here was just a bottom. It didn't have a back seat, and this thing folds up too, and the legs fold up, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of room, and it's another great addition. All right, so now coming over to the kitchen area, this is probably where I've done the most things. So a couple Christmases ago, a friend gave me this, and this is a little pump that hooks onto these 5-gallon water jugs, and I've been wanting to use this since they gave it to me. And now that I had the Moonlander, I'm like, what can I do to incorporate this into a little kitchen? Because it's such a great little pump. All it is this little pump here. It's got a hose that goes down, and it's USB charged, and you just push the button and it starts pumping. And you just get you one of these 5-gallon water jugs. I got this at Walmart for like $13.33 or some weird price, but 13 bucks. And you know, you can refill and use the same one. You can swap it out if you want to get the purified water. And I thought this would be great for drinking water, for dishes, all that stuff. So this kind of water sink setup is kind of the first upgrade. This is just a little wash basin. Actually, my daughter, she's 2 months old. When she was born and she was in the hospital, this is what she took her first bath in at the hospital. So I have this. It works out perfect, works out great. Got my dish soap up here, hand washing soap, little towel. I do need to figure out some type of, you know, towel rack or something like that. But this has worked out great so far. It's probably the biggest upgrade that I've done is I built this little kitchen countertop, I guess you could call it here. And I'm kind of proud of myself with this because it's very basic, but I'll tell you what, this thing is very perfect. I just camped here for one night at our land here, and this thing worked out absolutely great. I built it this size for a couple of reasons. One is because of the bed here. I wanted to kind of go a little bit beyond this bed because I can actually shrink my bed up to a twin if I wanted to. So if I did that, I want to make sure that this was still usable. I also had my wheel well that I was dealing with here, so I had to build the legs around that, and I wanted to have my water jug right here, so I had the countertop extend beyond the leg here, and I had to figure out the height and everything so that this would fit into this little water basin. And then I wanted to also put my power station right here, because what's nice is with the bed rug, if you put things in here that have a little bit of weight, they don't shift. And now this stuff really doesn't shift because my power station is up against my wheel well. I got my kitchen table here and then the water jug. So once I put the tailgate up, this stuff can't move front to back. So if I'm accelerating fast or got to slam on the brakes, this isn't going to move. I just drove on dirt roads for probably about 25 miles here. I'm camping on our land. And yeah, I was on bumpy, washboard out dirt roads. None of this stuff moved. I didn't even get any sideways movement or anything, which is just great. I also built this table, this height, one for the water jug, but also it's the perfect height. You can see I'm sitting on the floor here, and I can easily cook, or I can sit on my chair and kind of hunch over, which actually it really isn't that bad, but I have a couple different options with the height of this, and it's worked out great so far. So one thing that I just purchased for this trip for my power station here is this 3-socket 12-volt adapter. It's got individual buttons here to turn on each socket, and then it also has a couple USB chargers. This thing is great because with my power station, I only have one 12-volt socket, but I need one of these sockets for my 12-volt fridge, and then the other one is for the fan here in the Moonlander. And what I really like about this extension is it has a long cord, because my Moonlander, the fan cord is not super long. And what's nice about this is I can kind of tuck it back in here, and it just sits right there. Those lights are kind of bright at nighttime, and I like things being super dark, so I do cover those, but it's really nice. And then it does give you the voltage reading here, which your power station already tells you your power and stuff, but a nice little addition. Probably the last upgrade that I have here is this Bouge RV 30-quart 12-volt fridge. This thing is awesome. Bouge RV actually sent me this about 9 months ago, and I didn't do a review on it yet because it had been giving me an error code, but that's because the 12-volt socket on one of my power stations was actually broken. So I tried this in a different 12-volt socket on a different power station, and this thing works. I love this thing. It's a perfect size. It fits under here in the Moonlander, perfect. What's nice, it has these rubber feet, and again with the bed rug, when things are heavy and they have rubber, like, it doesn't move. It's so awesome. And this sips energy. If you put this on the eco mode, it only consumes like 30 or 35 watts, which is so awesome. And like right now it's up to temp. It's at 40 degrees, and as you can see on the power station, we are not consuming any energy. So once it gets up to temp, until the compressor kicks on, you're not consuming any power. So and there's a good amount of space in here. I mean, I just spent the night here at our lamb one night, so I didn't have a ton of food, but it's a really good little fridge for sure. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much the update on the Moonlander and everything that I've done to it. I really like the additions that I made. I think they've worked out great. They've been simple, they've been easy, and that's kind of been my goal with a lot of these things, is just trying to keep it simple, because I do use the Moonlander primarily just as a topper to move our family stuff around and use it for work and things of that nature. I do camp out of it a handful of times a year, but I primarily use this thing as a topper. So a lot of these additions and upgrades and all that stuff I can take out super easy. The little kitchen, I am planning on just keeping it in here. Same with the power station and even the water. The water I will have to switch out from time to time because since it is clear, you're not supposed to keep water in a clear container for super long, or algae and stuff can grow. But it's a nice little addition for sure, and I love this little swivel chair too. I mean, like I said, a lot of really easy, simple upgrades, but they've been good. One other thing I forgot to mention too is lighting in here. I know some people were asking about overhead lighting and stuff like that. I just picked up some of these little lights from Amazon a couple years ago actually, and these little lanterns are great. You can either hang them, they can just sit. They got a little clip on the bottom. There's different light settings, and I just put one over on this side, put one on the other side, and they work out good for lighting. And then I use my headlamp if I need to, but that's pretty much it. So things that are coming up on the Moonlander that I might be doing, I think I might put a like bug net or something on the back here, you know, because bugs are always super annoying when you're camping, and sometimes you just want to get away from them. That's how I was yesterday. They were eating me up, and so I might try to do some type of netting. I don't know, we'll see. That's probably just about the only thing. I might try to build some shelving up here. I did have a shelf here last year, which worked out, but I didn't screw it down or anything. I would just put it up there when I would set up my camp, and I did really like that. But I might do something a little bit more permanent, but I'm pretty happy with the way things are right now. But do you guys have any recommendations? Do you guys have any ideas of things that I could do that would be simple and easy? If you do, drop a comment below. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing it in the next one.